Levan Saginashvili versus Devon Larratt is one of those matches where the instant you hear it being announced, you stop and you go, whoa.
Levan Saginashvili is the largest, most powerful human to ever step to the arm wrestling table.
This is arguably the most important, it's definitely the most talked about arm wrestling match in the world.
This shows you the type of man that Devon Larratt is. I mean, he wants the fight that everybody says is impossible for him to win.
Can Devon Larratt pull off the greatest upset in the history of arm wrestling? That's the real question.
It's absolutely possible. It's absolutely possible. Levan, you need to get bigger.
Levan has never lost a single round in a super match. He has a perfect record. This match is Levan crushing Devon 6-0.
Devon, you have to get smaller.
One of the most intriguing stylistic matchups the sport has ever seen. On one hand, fundamental brute force power. On the other side, absolute tactician master. A defensive counter-attacking, squeezing the life out of his opponent ability.
If you're betting with your money and your brain, you're going Levan. But if you're betting with your heart and you want a comeback story and you want the internet to break and you want talking points from generation to generation, you pick Devon Larratt.
If ever there's an opportunity for the tide to turn, that's, I think, where he'll never get it back.
6-0 Levan. Devon has no chance in hell in this match.
Devon Larratt wins this, and they're probably going to need a silver bullet to solve it.
Without question, the biggest and most important match in arm wrestling history.
I will show him things that he's not seen before. I will.
Devon Larratt may well be the most complex arm wrestler alive, but Levan Saginashvili is another level of power. What he can move in the gym, what he can move on the table, this guy is not like everyone else. This guy is different. This guy is an absolute freight train.
Levan is the absolute epitome of a monster at the top of the mountain of the world of arm wrestling. This guy has never lost a single round in an arm wrestling super match. He is an absolute monster when it comes to arm wrestling. He is the king, he is the god, he is the ruler of all others. For Devon Larratt to even have a chance at winning a single round, it is going to take absolutely everything he has and almost a miracle.
Devon Larratt versus Levan Saginashvili. The match that is much more than just a match. The match that pits one side of the world versus the other. One way of thinking versus the other.
It has divided the whole world, the whole internet, whatever side you choose in this battle. It has almost become pure hatred on the other side. Is Levan, arguably the strongest arm wrestler to ever be on the table, able to conquer Devon Larratt? Or is it Devon can do what no other person can do? Not only take a round off Levan, but win the match.
Everybody's beatable. Everybody's beatable. Levan is incredible. He is what this modern peak of arm wrestling represents.
Devon Larratt.
Devon Larratt, yeah. Everyone wants Devon Larratt, yeah.
Yes.
You know, where Levan is at in terms of his legacy in the sport is a truly phenomenal place. He doesn't have many more things left to do on the list to establish what is one of the most impressive legacies ever in the sport. The man has gone undefeated in his supermatch career after rising to the top through WAF tournaments, and he has looked untouchable since. What he is wishing for in facing Devon Larratt is somewhat seen as the final test. It's somewhat seen as that, okay, can you defeat? Devon Larratt is the wizard of arm wrestling. He is the ultra-spiritual athlete who has never stopped searching for greater and deeper levels of technique and mastery in the sport. If Levan Saginashvili can conquer Devon Larratt, his legacy is set in stone.
Devon Larratt versus Levan Saginashvili is a very important match, not just for the outcome, but as a turning point potentially for the arm wrestling community. You're going to have before Devon and Levan and after Devon and Levan, regardless of who wins. But the outcome, the person that does win, is going to push things forward in a certain direction. That is probably more interesting to me than who the winner is going to be. Where are we as a community going to be 3 months after, 6 months after, a year after?
An absolute defining moment for the sport. Devon Larratt, he commands armies of fans from the West. Levan Saginashvili, his loyal followers sit back, watch, and proclaim their superiority from where they stand. This match is going to totally give one side of the arm wrestling world's fans every single piece of evidence they need to stand and not only yell, but proclaim confidently that their region of the world, that their guy is the king of arm wrestling and is truly number one in the world.
But it is one thing for sure, it is going to be one of the best, one of the most talked about matches in arm wrestling history. Ready, bang!
Levan Saginashvili versus Devon Larratt, King of the Table 4, 25th June, only on pay-per-view.
Hey, and Levan, keep getting bigger, buddy.